All right, some of you may know this, some of you may not. So I'll just kind of give the context for everyone. But up until the beginning of this year, 2025, I've largely been a user of VS Code and largely had kind of a keyboard and mouse workflow. And I still do a little bit to some extent. However, in January or February of this year, I decided, hey, I want to try Neovim. I want to see if I can replace a lot of my VS Code usage with Neovim. And if you're not familiar with Neovim, Neovim is sort of this. It's like the VS Code Vim version, right? So if you're familiar with like Vim, the classic text editor, right? You got your Vims, you got your Nanos, right? So Neovim is sort of a Vim on steroids. It allows you to extend it in a way that it has a lot of the functionalities that I think modern developers would want from their text editors. And it's been a ton of fun. And I watching the Primeagen is largely how I got turned on to Neovim, and it looked like so much fun working in it that's kind of what drew me to giving it a go. And one of the best parts about using Neovim for me has been learning Vim Motions. And Vim Motions is something that you can take really to almost any editor you work with nowadays. Most all the editors have some sort of Vim like plugin that gives you the ability to essentially navigate your code in a very keyboard centric workflow, right? You don't really have to take your fingers off your keyboard to navigate around your editor or make changes to your code or navigate your code, which is really nice. So, if you're not familiar though, let me just kind of set the stage and give you some context. So, if I jump over here to Neovim, I have this buffer open in my terminal here. And in Vim Motions, you have this idea of different modes, and depending on what modes you're in, that means the keys that you press on your keyboard are going to do different things. So when I'm in normal mode, that's what I use my keyboard to navigate around my text. And forgive me, I know if you've likely found your way here, you probably do have some Neovim experience or Vim experience, but I'm just kind of making sure I set the stage for people that might be wondering what the hell this guy's talking about. Now, you might be thinking at this point, well, there has to be some mode that allows you to actually put text into the file, right? Well, yeah, that's insert mode. And the way you typically get into insert mode is using either the A key or the I key. And that makes it really easy to switch from navigating to actually editing. So in this case, let me define a new function called say hello. So I'll say func say hello, and we'll say return to string, right? And we'll say return hi in this case. Now, at this point, I'm still in insert mode, right? But I'd like to now get back out of insert mode. And the way you do this is not as simple as the way you get into insert mode, because instead of just typing I or A, I have to actually reach my finger up across and hit the escape key. So if you're using a standard kind of QWERTY style keyboard, this is not the most ergonomic move that you have to make, because you literally have to take your fingers and reach across and actually hit that escape key. It works. I've gotten used to it. It's been okay, but man, I really wish there was a better way. Um, and I posted a video on my channel pretty recently, and someone left a comment and said, "Hey, you should." They were basically saying, "I remap the caps lock key to the escape key," and I thought, man, that's genius, because I really don't use caps lock, and caps lock is right there in line with my home key, and that would be way more ergonomic to reach than having to go all the way up to the escape key to switch back and forth. Now, they're on Linux, and when I asked them how they did this, they said, well, I actually did it at the OS level. And so that sent me on a little bit of a research journey to figure out, well, how can I do this? Because I use Neovim on Windows, not Linux, so they couldn't really help me. And what I came to find is there's not really a great way to do this remapping of keys or bind the caps lock keys within Neovim's configuration itself. So it's something you do have to do at some other level. And based on the weird rabbit holes my Google Foo skills took me down, there's a few different ways I guess you can go about accomplishing this. But most all are dependent on either a specific keyboard with a specific type of software or some sort of OS level capability. Some more complicated than others, it appears. And so I wanted to share with you guys the simplest solution I came up with, and I think you might find this very helpful, because since adding this remap, I have enjoyed Vim Motions even more than I had been enjoying it. So the way you do this is you actually have to have another piece of software called Windows PowerToys. Um, And now this piece of software, or I guess it's called Microsoft PowerToys, sorry, not Windows PowerToys, but it's basically a set of utilities for Windows that really just make Windows better. And it's kind of a hidden gem because I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, aside from other developers and programmers. But if you're willing to install it, this is probably the easiest way to accomplish this remap, in my opinion. So once you have PowerToys installed and you have it running, it's going to put an icon down in your system tray, which you can't really see because my face is covering it. But if you go down and click on that PowerToys icon, it'll bring up this menu. And once you have this menu up, you can actually open the settings menu of PowerToys, which I'll do now. And once you're in the PowerToys settings menu, you're going to want to go to the input and output section. And then you're going to want to go into the keyboard manager. Now, by default, it's off, but you want to toggle it on for our use case here. And you're going to want to click on the remap a key option. Once you do this, you're going to add your remapping. So in this case, I'm going to add key remapping, and I'm going to click the select button, and then I'm going to type the caps lock key, click OK. Then I'm going to head over to the other send to option, and I'm going to click select, and I'm going to click escape. Okay. Now I'm going to hit OK to persist that. Now it's going to warn me, hey, you haven't mapped caps locked anything because you just mapped caps lock to escape key. So do you want to map another key that sends to caps lock? I don't really care about the caps lock functionality not being available to me through my keyboard. I don't really use it, but if you wanted to preserve it, maybe you could map escape to caps lock and just have them completely switched. I don't really care for that. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm going to click continue anyway. Then I'm going to close out the PowerToys settings menu. I'm going to head back over to my editor now. And so you'll remember the way I got in here to the insertion mode is I'm going to type I, and I'm going to change hi to hello now. All right, so nothing fancy there. Now, normally the way I'd get out of this is I would actually click on the escape key, and you'll see if you pay attention to the top right, you'll see if I type escape, right, you'll see it be printed right there. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to actually type the caps lock key. So if I type caps lock, you'll see I exited normal mode, right? Or I exited insert mode, so I'm back at normal mode. But you can see I also registered an escape input, right? Which means that the key mapping that we just did actually is functional. And just to prove it, I'm just going to hold my keyboard up here and spam caps lock. And you should see escape is all caps lock does now. So now when I'm editing in Neovim on Windows, in Windows Terminal, I can now do all the normal things I would do with the escape key, but use my caps lock to achieve it. So let's type key map, struct, old, string, new, string, and then caps lock to get out, which is pretty awesome. I mean, it seems silly, but man, is that just a huge like ergonomic win. Now it's going to take me some time to build up the habit of not having to reach up and actually hit the escape key, but I can't tell you enough how much I wish I would have been able to do this 8 months ago. So if this helps you, if this gets you to where I would have liked to be faster than I did, then I will have accomplished my goal with this video. So if you found this helpful, please leave a comment down below. If you have another way that you go about doing this, I'd love to hear about it as well. Maybe there's an even simpler approach to it. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. All right, bye, y'all.